back, and they... Had one right now, but he stopped at the 9-yard line. A long way to go for this offense. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Shakes off the defender. Crosses the 30. He's got away. He'll step out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking.
Defensively, you'll take the slow down. You'll take 3, 4, 5 yards a pop, but you can't give up the massive plays. You got to do a better job containing the football, making them run to guys, and get them on the ground. For goodness sakes, this guy is fast, I know, but defensively, we got to swarm to the football and get him on the ground.
And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. All right, guys, let's think big picture for Oregon. At some point, with all of the transfer portal talk and guys going in and out, you can score one for continuity with this ball club, can't you, David?
That means your system and your culture is working, because these guys so often are just going for the next opportunity, the next bag of money. Nice job. They kept their guys that they recruited, that they love.
Yeah, it sounds so cliche, but these players really have bought in to this coaching staff and the message and what they're preaching. They all believe they could do something very special this season.
The Ducks come to the line with a new set of downs. From the gun, running back on the move. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And defense nowadays, they don't look at stats of what is the yards per rush. They look at how many negative plays they can create. Because why? Now you look at second down, man, it just became very predictable for this offense. Nice job creating the loss on first down.
Going to the ground. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
Back to pass, it's Bailey. Here's a hit. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play.
I know that shot down the field was incomplete, but you've got to keep taking shots. Those receivers love to go deep. It gives them a breath of fresh air. They get more excitement, and they're going to the quarterback with a little bit more juice because you know you're feeding them. So I would keep taking deep shots down the field.
The 7th play of this opening drive, they'll need to move the chains on 3rd and short. Wide receiver going in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. The chains will move, and they'll have 1st and 10 from inside the red zone at the 18.
And just work with something very easy, very reliable. Flip it forward. Let your receiver do the rest. I only got to get a few yards. Nice job. Nice execution. First down.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
On 3rd and long, trying to convert through the air. Almost intercepted in the end zone, and what a red zone stop that would have been. It'll be 4th down. And if the kicker can put one through, this will be a successful drive. Dead center perfect. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
You're feeling really good about that, right? Brand new season, first drive of the year, the juices are flowing, you march the ball down the field. You don't get a touchdown, but at least you come away with 3 points. Very positive start to the year.
Looks like he's going to try to return it. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Got him downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. The Cougars want to pick up the tempo. The pull and throw off the RPO. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Makes the stop at the 35-yard line. They rip off 15 yards on that one, and they are rolling.
And the offense with a nice run, breaks off a little bit of run, hits it first.
And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
The give to the back. Snowed under by the defense.
Well, the defense may have been caught off guard a little bit on that play. It was 2nd and long. They weren't expecting the run, so now we've got 3rd and manageable, and they've got to be wondering to themselves, is this offense going to try to run the ball again?
Off the RPO, fire right, trying to convert. He ended up losing yardage on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. They're throwing for it on 4th down. He's moving out of the pocket. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down.
You know, offensively in that situation, 4th down, you're throwing for it. Everything has to go right, or someone just needs to be able to make a play to keep the drive alive. They couldn't get it done, and now the offense is coming off the field.
The give out of the gun. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Bailey. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Sometimes it takes quarterbacks a few plays to really get into the rhythm of the game and not force things. I think the quarterback that time was really trying to force the ball to his wide receiver, but against man coverage, there were other guys on that play that were open that could have had a chance. So this quarterback just needs to settle down a little bit. He won't be throwing as many incompletions if he just lets the coverage tell him where to go.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable 3rd and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters and I know the pass is coming so I can have more success.
Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line. They'll start this drive from the 42. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. And after the tackle, that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. That's the end of the period, and Oregon has the lead. 1 period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. Off-play action. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football. Now they face third down. We'll see if they go back to the air after the incompletion. It's 3rd and 5. In the gun, looking to throw on third down. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover.
And what a play by the defender. He's on an island all by himself in cover one man coverage. Just him and the wide out, and he ends up winning, coming up with a big INT.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Just willed his way for a couple out to the 35.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
And, boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. In their own territory, no problem. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. Trying to do it on the ground. To the 43-yard line and a first down for this offense. In their own territory, but completely undaunted as they go for it and make it on 4th down.
And it's crazy. I don't even give a second thought anymore. Even in your own side of the field, like, what, I'm going to have bad field position? Nah, I don't really care. We're going to go for it. We're going to play the numbers. We're going to be aggressive.
Off the RPO, complete. At the 40, there he goes. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33.
This offense is clicking, and clearly everything is working. The offensive coordinator's calling good plays. The quarterback and his unit is executing. And this defense right now, they have no answers.
Runs through a tackle. There he goes. Touchdown, Oregon. How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option? And a huge run from the back for 6.
Man, it's nice to have a running back that can do that. That makes everything else easy on offense. Hey, hand it to that guy. He makes a big play. Yes, please.
And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Texas State is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This program has picked itself up before, and it's capable of it again today. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to LSU. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. And as he throws.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
To the air, it's Bachmeier. Going for the big play. He's got it on the outside. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29, and they are rolling.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
The give to the tailback. Tough sliding there as he picks up 1 to the 29. BYU lines up quickly. They'll run play action. Scrambling away. Rolling, throwing, looking right. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business, first and goal.
One of the things that makes this quarterback so dangerous is how accurate he can be when he's on the run. And he's a guy that's looking to throw. He's not looking to take off himself. Showed you that accuracy on that play to get the first.
And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, BYU! Well, that didn't necessarily go as planned, but it was most effective in the end.
I love it, Reese. Down in the red zone, this quarterback didn't have anybody open. Didn't panic. He just decided, man, I'm going to go do this myself. I'm going to use my wheels and put up 6 on the board. He did just that.
And with the extra point, the lead is cut to 3. It's 10-7. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Breaks into the open. He's got 93 yards rushing already here in the first half. It's a season opener, but he's in midseason form. No matter what uniform the Ducks are rocking, they are dressed for success on the ground.
And that's who they are, right? They're dressed for success. They run the football, and then after that, what do? They run it some more, and then
He can't corral the pitch. The ball's on the ground. He picks it up, still on his feet. Second down after the offense recovered its own fumble. To the air, it's Bailey. Finds a man on the right. Corralled and brought down by the defense.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
It'll be third and long. He's looking to pass. Grabbed behind the line. It's Peace. And he's to the 38-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. The new popular phrase for a favored team not really coming out of the gates quickly is that they're playing with their food. There are a lot of peas being pushed around the plate right now, guys.
Yeah, Reese, they've been stumbling around. They've been making mistakes and shooting themselves in the foot in this game. But, David, I think you also have to give credit to the underdog in this game because they're just playing with more intensity. They look like they want it more.
oh, dude, when you come out the gates in the first quarter, it's adrenaline, it's passion, it's being talked about as the underdog. As this game goes on, can they keep that intensity up? Right now, they're doing a heck of a job.
He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the in route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
The inside handoff. He picked up some yardage, but they stop him at the 45, and he'll be a little short. So the offense is going to go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. It's incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Nice job by the defense. Great pass defense, getting in the lanes, doing a really good job understanding they were going to throw the football in this fourth down. They played it well. Incomplete pass. Defense turns to offense.
Looking to pass. It's Bachmeier. Wide open downfield. And he's brought down after a nice gain. This senior shows some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down. Wants to go up top on first down. Back open in the middle. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 for the first down. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Ball marked at the 26. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. Takes a shot. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum. Well, they didn't let him get loose for a big return, but he still made the big play, and they'll take over at the 17.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect.
Gonna take a shot. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. And they make the play to stop the scoring opportunity just before the end of the half. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Fires left. He's got it. A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Here's the snap, ready to cut one loose. Finds his tight end. He goes out of bounds just short of the 30 at the 29-yard line, and when you're backed up, execution like that at a premium. Still some work to do after that last completion at second down. Looking to throw, it's Bachmeier. Fires on the move. And that is interception number 3 on the day. And they come up with a big play to make sure no more points go on the board before the end of the half.
And what a change in momentum. It looked like the offense was going to score points. Not only does the defense pick it off, but a great individual effort on the return, now setting their team up in field goal range to try and steal 3 points before the end of the half.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. They're lined up and ready to kick off this second half. Fielded in the end zone, it's Watkins. He's got great speed. He's on the loose. And there he goes. They will get him. It's a touchdown.
You can't start the second half any better than that. You're trying to come out of the locker room. You're trying to create some momentum. Taking the first kick of the third quarter back for a touchdown, that is exactly what this head coach was looking for from his players.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Looking for blockers. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
All right, defense, that's what we can't do. We can't give up this many jump yards on the ground. Got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to get those running backs on the ground. That's way too easy.
From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Cross the 30 to the 35, and that's a gain of 6. He's up to 86 yards rushing, and he goes over the century mark in this season opener. And the Ducks with a second and short to keep this drive moving. They'll try the run. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks.
Well, you see the defense make a big play there in the RPO, and they're doing it because they're starting to load the box. If you're the play caller offensively, you might want to think about having your quarterback keep the ball and then try to throw it downfield.
Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
Really good decision-making by the quarterback. Don't get greedy. Yes, I can make reads, and I can pull it, and I can throw it all the yard. If I can take 10-plus yards and continue to do that and continue to be smart with my decision-making, this offense is going to be very difficult to stop.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. So now it's 2nd and long. Wants to throw. It's Bailey. They're working that left side. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And that's a live ball behind the line. They recover their own fumble. Somehow, who knows how they got that thing back. And it looks as if they've buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. Maybe a tad out of field goal range and way too close to punt it. Kind of in no man's land, so they'll go for it on 4th down. Defense couldn't quite hold its water, and it'll be 5 free yards for the O. This offense has a 1st and 10. They are flat bailed out by the defensive penalty. Timeout called here by the defense. It's their first of the half.
Timeout, BYU.
The Ducks are moving quickly down the field. Using his legs, it's Hatcher.
We've seen this guy have tons of success. He had over 100 yards right before that run, but defense gets the better of him there. Nice job of adjusting up front. Good job being physical by that D-line, too.
The Ducks trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Quarterback may change this route. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Oh, it's picked off. That's not the start they hoped for. No real chance on the return, but they've got it at the 34. One running back in the backfield, and he has it. Stuffed almost in his track, but strong enough to pick up 1 to the 35. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Trying play action. Fires to the wideout. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
3rd and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, 4th down.
Looks as if BYU will have to punt it away. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. To the air, it's Bailey. Got his man quickly. That's not quite going to be enough as they stop him 4 yards short of the marker.
And that's the advantage of being a big wide receiver, because now you're a big target. And on these slant routes, you don't have to run the perfect route, but you can use your size and your physicality to get the job done almost every time.
Quarterback making checks. On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Makes the grab. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down. And the Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw it. Makes the grab. It's Peace. And he's knocked down, but there's also laundry on the field. We'll see what the officials have called. After getting moved back, it's 1st and 20. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. That's caught. It's Hatcher. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
Under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Got a man in the middle. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41. It's not just the dual threat guy. You go back to Dan Fouts or Bill Musgrave or even Justin Herbert, and passers not in short supply for the Ducks.
And when you think about the Ducks, you always think about the fancy uniforms.
Turning it on! He's at the 10. Touchdown, Ducks! And that one will put him up here in the 2nd half.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the 2nd level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear, with his speed, he was gone.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll try the right side. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Reads it, fires complete. Defense makes the tackle, and that will probably be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. 3 quarters are in the books. Time becomes a factor both in trying to hold the lead or cut into it as we take a look at the stats. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. After swapping ends of the field, they gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a 1st down at the 43.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that play.
Dropping back, it's Bachmeier. Rush coming in high, and they got him at the 29.
And a great job by the defense, dropping in zone coverage, all eyes on the quarterback, taking away the options, and then finally the pass rush gets home, gets him on the ground.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains, they were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it, but you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. What a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Yeah, nice job by the defense. That's what you're supposed to do. As soon as they catch the football, you want to limit that yards after the catch, and he went nowhere after the catch. Nice job by the D.
The play action fake. He fires to the left side. And it's taken away by the defense, and they desperately needed that turnover. Trying to take it back. Touchdown, Cougars! What a play. Not only the interception, but the great return for the score.
How about that play by this defense? The offense trying to salt the game away with the lead. Defense makes the biggest play of the ball game, getting the pick, finding the end zone, and taking the lead late in this ball game.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen, so you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. He slings it deep to the left. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players.
Man, I've been there. This is one of those games you just want to forget right away and turn the page. 4 picks now thrown by this guy, and you're just not able to make your reads. Things aren't clicking.
Got room on the return. And he's brought down after a nice game.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? This is what got this team in this position to win this game. Aggressive offense, taking shots. Here we are in the 4th quarter. They've got the lead. Why stop now?
Pulls and throws off the RPO. Touchdown, Cougars. A great catch and run for 6.
I like the aggressive play calling by the offensive coordinator on that drive as well. There are a lot of coaches that would have played it very conservative, very close to the vest, run the ball, and punt it away. Count on your defense, not this guy. He was going to take some shots, count on his own guys to get it done. And now with that touchdown late, they've got a 2-possession lead.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. That last drive ended with an interception, and this time it's paramount they take care of the ball. Firing to the right, complete. Defense grabs the football, and there he goes. There he goes. Touchdown, BYU. The defense putting points on the board.
Well, it's a great job by the receiver getting open and making the catch, but now you got to secure the football. You know there's going to be guys coming trying to rip it free. They did it. They scooped it. They scored. That's a play he's going to learn from.
But let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Rice came away with the win today, but not in dominant fashion. In fact, the folks in Houston had to sweat things out for much of the second half. Could have been better, but certainly could have been worse. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still two quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Grabs it in the middle. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain.
Offenses love the explosive plays through the air, pushing the ball down the field. And look at this. Sometimes it creates some momentum, and you want to capitalize. So you go get on the ball and get ready to run some no-huddle.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls in.
He's got an open man. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as he gets him down at the 37. The Ducks come to the line in the hurry-up. He might want another play. He wants to throw it again. Unloads to the right. Complete on the comeback. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. The Ducks have it with a 1st and 10. The defense uses their second timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. Now down to the 12-yard line. It's 1st down. Quickly complete. Now the connection takes it to the 11. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. Hands it off. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. Under fire. Incomplete. Looked as if he had his man, but just a misfire from this senior.
And it's going to be difficult for this offense, man. Just where are they going to find the plays? You can tell the defense sitting back. They're playing nickel. They're playing dime. So you need some receivers to step up, make some yards after the catch, some contested plays. This offense has got to do something, and they got to do it quick.
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the 4th quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. Looking for the score. And that makes 5 interceptions in this one. The nightmare is alive. Inside the 50, the 30. He's at the 20. And he's going to take it all the